Hey everyone, welcome to the third live ParsiQ Ask Me Anything session. It's been 2 weeks, and today we have on this session ParsiQ co-founder and chief blockchain architect. Hey everyone, Anatoly Ressin. Welcome to the third. So hi Anatoly, thanks for taking the time. So today I will be it's gonna be Anatoly's show. I'm gonna choose questions for him to answer. So feel free to ask anything about the product, about the vision, about the progress, and yeah, I'll take some of the questions that are directed to me, but mostly I'm here to moderate. So before we get into the questions, I'd like to share some progress on the IQ protocol front, because the team is working hard and the Hodley model is almost live. We're speaking every day to different projects who want to use the IQ protocol and deploy their own renting pools there. We have discovered a lot of use cases, including like memberships, creator coins, not just subscriptions, but many more interesting use cases here that can be applied. So I think we'll see a lot more of these projects coming on board and building on top of our protocol in the next quarter and the next year as a whole. So Anatoly, before we get started with the questions, maybe you can give a brief update to the community, what's happening with IQ protocol in, let's say, in the engineering department. What are the next steps? So what have you been brainstorming, researching? What's the progress update?
Yeah, I would say that the surface of the development is quite big in IQ protocol, different directions in which we are evolving this protocol. One direction is spreading IQ protocol to different platforms. So we are investigating possibilities and implications of implementing IQ protocol on non-EVM platforms, namely Solana. We could implement more interesting logics, and this is one question. Another direction, we are investigating different possibilities on launching IQ protocol on layer 2 solutions for the I would say not on the mainnet, because unfortunately for now the gas prices still are too high. But second layer solution like Optimism and Arbitrum looking promising, and we are investigating possibilities to port our IQ protocol to those. And I would say maybe Arbitrum has more chances than Optimism, but we still are in the investigating phase. Here, this is about different blockchains, different implementations, and about the IQ protocol itself. We talked with different companies, and different companies provided us a feedback on our energy model. For some of companies, our energy model fits quite tightly, and this is exactly what they wanted. Other companies tried to inverse some processes in IQ protocol that can be easily done as an update for the IQ protocol. So it's evolving. The most asked feature is ability to lock tokens to guarantee that borrowed tokens are really sitting on the same address. So without a proof of hold, just to make them non-transferable for all the period of accessing services of the enterprise and so on. And another feature that is very hot in IQ protocol and asked by companies from gaming industry, this is NFT tokens, lending and borrowing of NFT tokens, both ERC-71 and ERC 1155. And we are now working on the model how to create mirroring smart contracts for NFT tokens and make them borrowable, expirable. And of course, a company that builds on top of the IQ protocol should be aware of IQ protocol here and allow such flows as a direct on-chain lending and borrowing of assets in the game. This thing is also very hot. So this is kind of what are directions in IQ protocol.
Yeah, thanks, Anatoly. And just now we have a question about NFT renting. So we've talked about this in the past AMA sessions, how people can rent NFTs. And the question is, so when it comes to IQ being used for NFT renting, the NFT will be wrapped, right? It will be the wrap.
It will be wrapped, and this wrapper should be recognized by those who are willing to accept or giving you something in return of having this NFT on your account.
Exactly. So if we're talking about renting something like a CryptoPunk, it doesn't have to be accepted by anyone. You can just rent it. But if it's an in-game asset, then it has to be accepted by the game or the creators of the game, right? So the wrapped version. So we will be reaching out to gaming companies, play to earn projects and other NFT related companies to talk with them. So they would implement this in their games and would accept the wrapped versions for their utility. So another question was at the beginning here, since you spoke about Arbitrum, what do you think about the outages that Solana and Arbitrum both had just recently?
I would say that those things are good because those are battle scars. If a system has no such scars, then this is suspicious. And both Ethereum, Bitcoin had such things, and it is better to touch these situations earlier than later. So it just means that, for example, both Solana and Arbitrum, they are being tested by external entities for its strengths, for its capabilities. And the more such things will be in near time, the better the better battle tested will be the systems, because all such attacks or all such overwhelming with transactions, all those are lessons from which companies earn a lot of experience, a lot of new input data that could be used to prevent such things in future. So these are very. I would say that this outages was anticipated.
Thanks, Anatoly. Now let's switch to a few questions about ParsiqQL, our programming language. And the first question is, what is the coolest, most impactful use case you are excited to see ParsiqQL be used for to benefit public good?
It is an interesting question. What can you express? What can you express in the language that is tending to be generic programming language? Because for now we are moving from very small DSL to a language that will be capable to process different data sets, implement different flows. I would say that the most interesting usage of ParsiQL will be achieved when ParsiQ will digest not only blockchain data, but as well, for example, trading live streams from centralized exchanges, and you can build your own trading strategies. You build your own trading strategy like you do if somebody knows such a platform, MetaTrader for Forex, where you can express your own trading strategies. But here, the most exciting thing will be when you can combine live data streams from centralized exchanges, plus use everything that is available through our monitoring of what is happening in blockchain. So it's a SEX and DEX arbitrage case for the ParsiQL, when you can express sophisticated strategies and earn money on that.
And the next question is from Dweep Sharma, also about ParsiQL. So this is something I think should be right up your alley. Hi, Anatoly. Can ParsiQL evolve to support Docker-like development for dApps? Is that part of the vision? Example, if a trigger is set up on Solana, how easy it would be to move it to another blockchain? I assume there will be significant development work to migrate dApps between blockchains. So if devs work with ParsiQL, can it be similar experience to Docker/portability?
Unfortunately, I would say that between two different blockchains with completely different models, it will not be, because Solana itself has completely other mindset, how to work with data, how to work with accounts. And when you express something meaningful, for example, in Solana, you just not have such notions in an EVM, for example. But I would say that some kind of unification, like Docker, created for programming, yes, there will be some generic services, some generic interfaces that are recreatable in different blockchains. We are trying to abstractize them and to polish them to make them almost identical. I cannot say that they will be absolutely identical, but we are trying to make ParsiQL for different blockchains. We are representing different blockchains as streams of events. And for such events, like transferring some tokens from one address to other address, yes, these type of triggers will be portable between blockchains. But for example, if we are talking about different DeFi products, if these DeFi products will I do not know how not to use mathematical things, so that if they will be congruent if they will do the same thing simultaneously with the same processes, yes, then we can provide streams that will allow users to consume this data in the unified manner. But if they are created ad hoc, if they are created specifically for a given blockchain and leveraging all the strongest parts of the blockchain, then probably it will not be as easily portable.
Next question is about nCase. So what's the status and what's the progress there? I'm going to start off by just saying nCase has been sort of in a really beta stage of testing a version of it for a while now that some of our partners are testing out, but there's still so much to do, including the whole MPC part. So between IQ protocol and the ParsiQ platform product rollouts, it hasn't been priority number one, but it's definitely on the roadmap. Maybe Anatoly can shed some more light on what needs to be done this and next year to get nCase fully commercially live, to be able to provide it to the blockchain companies who all have expressed interest to use it.
Yeah, no, first of all, I would say that we sliced. Firstly, I would say that we marketed nCase as the entire solution, and now we sliced it into different abstraction layers. Because the tiniest layer that probably will be published and is a real part, the real part of the nCase is the nonce manager as a service. For those who programmed in Ethereum, you know this pain point, how to assign correct nonces when you have a big stream of outgoing transactions and you need to assign correct nonces in advance and so on. So this is the first small level. Second level is the key management, with signing itself. This one layer is in active development, and I would say that the consequence of creating full-fledged key management solution will not be only wallet as a service like nCase, but as well it will be a key for the actions on blockchain for the ParsiQ itself. So, for example, if you want to attach some action that should be triggered by ParsiQ on your behalf, then you need somehow to deliver or the key or somehow to be involved in the flow. How we can sign your transaction with your key without disclosing it, and only then on top of this there will be different services. One service will be a wallets as a service, and another solution that will sit on top of the key management and ability to track deposits and withdrawals will be an entire solution for exchanges. Because everybody who created an exchange, they know that the exchange itself has different parts. One part is connected with the trading itself, but it is not connected with the blockchain, because all trading is happening inside memory, inside databases. But another part is the deposit and withdrawal system, and entire deposit and withdrawal system will be the part of the nCase. But now we are concentrated on the key management system, and when it will be done, you will see it for first deployment as actions enabled on ParsiQ.
Yeah, this is ties well with our reverse triggers and actions. on the blockchain that we've discussed on our roadmap. Next questions are, we go back to IQ protocol again. Jonesy is asking that the borrowed amount has been static for a few days, for some days. So will it more be added, or is the full amount for the time being? So definitely not. We are onboarding projects all the time. So we expect more borrowings to happen within the next days and continue to be happening. The pipeline is quite full. So you'll see increases all the time. And the next question actually ties in very well with the last one. And something for you, Anatoly. Can you please explain again how the IQ protocol decides interest rates? Some days we earn more interest than others. What makes this fluctuate?
Okay. So when somebody borrows from the pool, money that is used, tokens or whatever user pays to pool, is not immediately added to the reserves of the pool. It is being continuously streamed from special place where these funds are placed. It is streamed, but it is streamed non-linearly. And this non-linearity works in terms of gap halving period. Gap halving period means situation. So, for example, if somebody pays for IQ protocol for borrowing 100 tokens, for example, and I would say that our gap halving period, just need to remember, it looks like that it is 1 week. I don't remember the exact settings, but if gap halving period is 1 week, it means that if somebody now exactly pays 100 token, it means that immediately this 100 token are put in special locked box, and only half of them will be released during a week. And another half of the half will be released during the next week. Half of the half will be distributed next week, and so on. So the gap between not paid and paid amount, it halves every week. That is why we call it gap halving period. And this model allows us drastically save the gas in EVM compatible networks. So this model, when something is streamed using this nonlinear function, has very interesting property that you can add at any moment. You can add the new money to this log box, and it still will be streamed with the same scenario. But you will experience different earnings, on different days, unless borrowing stream will be sustainable. Now it looks like the stairs. So borrowed, then no borrowing, borrowed, no borrowing. But when there will be continuous stream of borrows, you will not feel it. You will feel different levels of borrowing, but you will not see such high differences.
Like that. Thanks, Anatoly. We from Ryan Davis about the wrapped NFTs for in-game usability. What's stopping people from creating a fake wrap of the NFT, or how would the game No, it's been wrapped from the original NFT.
So here you need to understand that the game should be aware. Game should be aware of the wrapped contract. Like now, for example, when some enterprise is going to accept power tokens, just our power tokens ERC20, it should access and it should know with which enterprise deployed on IQ protocol it will work. The same is with game. It means that a current game without modifications, they will not be able to accept wrapped coins. And the scenario, the flow, how support of the wrapped NFT will be supported in the game is our communication with that game, but not our communication. So every game developer can read documentation about the IQ protocol and decide whether he wants that his users will be able to lend and borrow NFT tokens through IQ protocol. And as well, like in a situation with enterprises for ERC20 tokens, he will be able to set up a service fee or the royalty. So, for example, when one user will lend his NFT to other user and other user pays for that, maybe some part of the payments will go not to the user but to the creator of the game. So this is the almost the same scenario as with ERC20 tokens. So game are aware of the contract that will be created by IQ protocol for wrapped coin.
Follow-up question from Dweep. If blockchain is Kafka, can ParsiQL be equated to Apache Flink or even Apache Storm?
I would say that yes, and we even see some similarities here, but we are more concentrated on the specific on the blockchains. When, for example, patch products, they are very generic.
So before we go forward, there have been a bunch of questions about marketing and community growth, that ParsiQ needs better marketing, or the community has been growing as fast. This is a tricky question, because what ParsiQ has mostly been focused on delivering, fundamentally good technology, and more than on hype and marketing. But we are definitely slowly but steadily improving on this, because crypto, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We are learning to work with messaging around our products, around our technology, and how to reach out to more communities. In the last year, I've seen different periods, like when, for example, last year's August and September, when we have had explosive growth of both number of token holders, number of social media followers. And then we've had this quiet stagnation where it's slow growth. And then again, we've had these surges in November, December, January, then again, a few months of slower growth. And then April, May. So it's nothing is growing explosively, like parabolically for forever. So these are periods, and now it was a period of preparation. I think we will see very soon. We'll see some good numbers in terms of community growth. So I wouldn't worry about this. We have a lot planned for this year and next year that will should turn a lot of people's attention to ParsiQ and IQ protocol. question from Brandon. ParsiQ is a monitoring tool and reverse oracle. Do you have plans to work with blockchain security companies or have plans to extend into blockchain security sector?
Firstly, we are already working with some kind of blockchain security because we integrated Bitfury Crystal, we integrated Upsala security, and we are still in the process of finding and integrating other security tools. And I would say that this is a slightly different direction of the ParsiQ evolvement. We are now accumulating our own data that could be used for the forensics, for the different interesting security related questions about the health of the different wallets and so on. So we are slowly accumulating both knowledge and data sufficient to say that we will be in the blockchain security as well.
So again, a follow-up question from Dweep. Do you see any advantage to make ParsiQL compute nodes elastic or serverless, like AWS Lambda, which can handle any high traffic surges and maybe even save cost?
I would say that this is in a vision. We're now working on the runtime environment that can be decoupled from the portal that can be executed in Docker containers, that can be executed even on personal computer. So if you just want to set up your own trigger on your own computer, you just can stop such a runtime environment that even will have less restrictions than portal, because here you restricted by only your computer that you are consuming, but you still will be need to subscribe to our data streams, because the most important thing is unification of data streams from different blockchains. And for example, all the capabilities of processing could be offloaded to you. It's kind of decentralized, or at least distributed way how to launch ParsiQL code, but you still will subscribe to the data that are provided by ParsiQ.
One other thing I'd like to address, because we've had a bunch of questions, is exchange listings and why we are not on some of the tier 1 exchanges, why PRQ is not listed there yet, while projects younger than ParsiQ have been. So this is a tricky issue, because the youth of a project has no relevance here, and exchanges, they never give reasons. So maybe they sometimes do, but often they don't even give reasons why they don't list. When exchanges mostly chase things that are trending heavily. So that means, for example, the meme coins, the play to earn industry, these have huge trading volume, and that's why they always go to the top of the priority list. I know a lot of great successful projects with working products, with adoption, with big communities, with top tier VC backers who still haven't managed to get listed on some of these tier 1 exchanges. So it's nothing surprising. All I can say is that we are doing everything on our part. a lot has been done, and we are on certain waiting lists on some of these. It's just that we are not priority number one, because it's right now it's time for play to earn. This is where most of the volume is, and all I can say is we will get listed. PRQ will be listed on tier 1 exchanges sooner or later. It can happen tomorrow, it can happen in 6 months, but most of the work has been done. Now it's just showing a little bit more traction and waiting. So, are you going to have any early incentives to lending? Yes, we will have a number of incentives for participating in the IQ protocol as an early stage adopter, as a liquidity provider. One of the first announcements on this will be made public within the next couple of weeks. And that's not the only one. Anatoly, this is a question for you. Is trustless trigger, reverse trigger, a possible future for ParsiQ to power a use case like decentralized smart contract automation? That's an essential component of any DeFi protocol.
In future, yes, but not now. But not now, because all the technologies for now, at least as a prototype, it could be done today with all the snarks, just to prove that we really executed the logic that you've submitted, and you can verify that exactly this algorithm was executed on the data. But we need to combine it with blockchain data itself, and automation of the smart contracts in purely trustless manner. We think that it is kind of question to the blockchains themselves, because sooner or later these things will be incorporated in blockchains. Now we are concentrating mostly on on reacting in real time and applying as fast as possible of your algorithm to what is happening just now in the blockchain, because trustlessness comes with a big, huge price. You need to verify it. You need to re-verify it. You need to reach a consensus, and these are kind of contradicts to the speed of the reaction. And I would say that for the start, we are concentrating on creating a centralized way how to react on events immediately, and only then we will identify those of them that are not as urgent as our main target use cases, and for them probably we will create trustless mode.
ParsiQ recently invested in some project, so like Metis and deBridge. Can you share your experience of choosing a project to invest? So usually we look at a number of things. First of all, the team and the dedication of the team. Secondly, the project has to solve an actual problem and capture value. So these are the main attributes. And also we'll look at some good fits that can be integrated or can make use of the ParsiQ tech stack. Let's see. Why haven't you moved liquidity providing incentives from Uniswap to Arbitrum? Many mainnet ETH projects are in the process of moving or have already. Anatoly, do you have?
I would say that it is a question about in investigation. So we are on the path of no, at least sharing the liquidity between the mainnet and the level 2 solutions, because we see that it will be the future, because users really search from transaction fees. And when we see that these technologies are mature enough, accumulated battle scars, then we probably move without any regret to there.
How do you plan on displaying APY on IQ protocol, since everyone's APY is not the same and it fluctuates across time? Would you show it as a bivariate distribution by user/time?
So we now are just accumulating the statistics, because it's a really live process. What we can do, we can expect more borrowers for this, and just create nicer visual representations of what we really have. Because in contrast with, for example, in inflationary coins, we don't minting our coins to create our APY. So our API is the consequence of what is happening really. And we are just trying to incentivize all the parts of the, all players of the protocol to create a sustainable system where the APY will be predictable. So we cannot answer why APY is this at this moment and other at other moments. So we can just explain why it has, because we have these numbers of borrowers, of lenders, and so on. But the only ecosystem around IQ protocol will stabilize all these metrics.
Injective Protocol is slowly rolling towards a full release of their DEX. Has there been any communication between them and the team about officially integrating ParsiQ tech? Yes, we are in constant contact with the Injective team, and since Injective is built on the Cosmos SDK, we are creating a framework on how to integrate projects who are building on Cosmos. Next question is Anatoly. How are you feeling with the increasing developer team size? Is it comfortable growth? Do you think expanding even more is viable?
This growth was expected and highly anticipated, because without this growth, we have almost crazy, because a lot of different things were on our responsibilities. So now we can slice all the work more correctly to assign correct people. And I would say that we are growing. So we are growing in the data analysis, in big data, in forensics, and so on. And now we are hiring a new person that will be responsible, that will be owners of the process, because instead instead of having all these processes inside my head, inside Tom's head or Alan's head, we just can offload these things and think more thoroughly about the strategy, about what new features will be do. But all the things that are already understood, they can be offloaded, and now they are working not independently, but with the synergy with the all commons. So it was comfortable.
What is the one exciting thing that we can look forward to at the end of 2021? I've already covered some of the future milestones for this year. Like we want to update the portal's UI, UX. We want to do the smart templates marketplace, the ParsiqQL 2.0 version, all the updates with IQ protocol. But maybe for you, Anatoly, what is one of the most exciting things that should be accomplished by 2021, by the end of the year?
I would say that the NFT borrowing and renting, both of the ERC2 and 721 and 1155, it will be very interesting, and it will be interesting. It's twice interesting if we could implement these NFT related things on Arbitrum. I don't know whether we will implement it on Arbitrum within this year, but definitely the journey about offloading all the NFT related things to a second layer will be huge, because it looks like recently Vitalik Buterin published a note about the NFT interoperability, and even he mentioned Arbitrum as one possible target for the offloading all the NFTs to there. But immediately he wrote the disclaimer that he doesn't like an idea to be locked to just one vendor, so we need to create standards about the interoperability, bridging NFT smart contracts, just to push it out from the mainnet, because NFTs now are one of the main consumptors of the gas and consumers.
Yeah, I'm also excited for the NFT rental version of the IQ protocol. In fact, we've pretty much shook hands with some NFT projects and marketplaces, some of them not small at all, who want to have the ability to give their users access to renting and borrowing NFTs, so that it would be the IQ protocol underneath, but it can have multiple front ends, including front ends on those projects' websites and marketplaces. So they will give us immediately thousands of users and millions in TVL. Lots to be excited about. So next question. How do you balance the project's decentralization with the centralization needs of a software as a service, SaaS? Doesn't decentralizing the project make the business aspect more difficult?
I would say that for now we are mostly centralized. Yes, we are our subject domain. What we are working with are decentralized things, but we are now a company that accumulates data, that processes data in mostly centralized manner. Yes, we have different nodes, so we are even maintaining our own nodes to sustain different networks. But what we are doing is mostly centralized business. But the business model and payment model, we decentralized with IQ protocol. So it's kind of such an interesting symbiosis between centralized company. Yes, this company works with decentralized technologies and decentralized economical model that is covered by the IQ protocol. So the business itself for now is not decentralized. When when we will decide to make available these nodes for ParsiQL independent execution, then probably from such nodes, we can build our own, not the blockchain, but something that resembles decentralized project. But for now, we are even trying to extract all the benefits from being a centralized company. Yes, we are trying to keep all our data as transparent, auditable with all the hash chains and so on for our own internal audit. But when you are working with such huge data streams, as for example Solana transactions, or for example Algorand transactions, you cannot offload this logic to decentralizing. It just will not work. You can create only very basic things on decentralized level when you want to analyze such data. So our data will be much more richer and with many interesting analytics available than any decentralized project can reach.
Anatoly, do you see ParsiQ becoming an industry standard like Chainlink that almost every project integrates? Is this realistic?
We are going to be industry standard. It's not as easy, but it's a way that we see that we need to go to this.
Let me scroll down to the latest questions. So why is ParsiQ so unique in this crypto space? And do you see it as the main token to link data from crypto to the real world, Anatoly?
I would say that the uniqueness of ParsiQ is in its model, how to join the world of blockchains with standard informational system, because we selected to be a generic tool. To be a generic tool is not an easy way, and even we are always asked why even we decided to create our own language, and this is a good question. And when new employees in ParsiQ are asking this question and got the answer, and got in-depth answer, what exact processes we are covering with our language, they immediately abstain of any other questions, because we see a lot of patterns, a lot of different things that can be easily expressed in language constructions. So to be able to build a full blockchain programming language that is a glue language, this is the unique point of ParsiQ. So nobody tries to do the same in this way. To build a language, you need to have an ambition, knowledge, experience to answer such questions, and just to deliver your vision. And we are doing this.
Will ParsiQ work with governments to provide financial reporting or tracking solution?
No, it is an interesting question, because we are just a tool. We're just a tool. We are like a knife. So and it is a question how the tool will be used. So for example, if somebody will go for some data, for some analytical data, and will enter into commercial relations into PARSIQ, so why not? But the question about just being forced to provide data, I would say that it is no, it's a nonsense, and I do not know what how exactly to react if, for example, government will go for PARSIQ and ask, please give us all your data for free. We just want your data. It's kind of Raiders capture or acquisition of the. I would say that it will be scandal in this case.
How does PARSIQ grow against the downtrend? What is your actions in downtrend? I assume you mean the market downtrend, the crypto market. So crypto markets are volatile, of course, and well, how do we grow against the downtrend? The most important aspect is actual adoption. So we're seeing blockchain adoption, we're seeing adoption of the PARSIQ technology, and blockchain isn't going anywhere. It's gonna only grow, and everyone will need middleware and infrastructure. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin is going up or down. So this is the most important part. Of course, all or most of the digital assets, including the PRQ token, will be affected by any bear market or market downturn. So we saw just recently when we had the so-called mini bear market in the summer, and unfortunately some of PARSIQ's main milestones, like closing a Series A fundraising round with Solana Foundation and onboarding advisors and investors like Facebook, Seven Cheng, and the release of the IQ protocol beta, and the burning of the tokens, all fell within that market downturn range, and obviously didn't at that point have any effect on. But that was the state of the market. Everyone was in fear and panic, and there's nothing that can be done against this. You just continue to build and show progress, because eventually all these things that have been done in down markets, they will have their effect later on. So if the adoption is growing, then the project will grow, will be a success. Anatoly, on ParsiQL, are there any user-defined functions or machine learning functions planned for the future?
Yes. Just an answer. So user-defined functions. So we are going to create not only user-defined functions. We are introducing a sound type system, where types will be expressible with all the generics, with all the things, but it will be optional because of the type inference. If you already touched ParsiQL, you've seen that the type inference works well even now, but it will be more sophisticated. Of course, there will be user-defined functions, user-defined streams. So user will be able to define his own trigger or his own transformation of well-known stream, and you will be able to attach a new triggers to already your own stream of the data. So all these are planned, and because of one of the core features that we are working for now in the sound state, so that allows triggers to keep and update stateful information, it means that these information could be used for the learning, for machine learning algorithms, and probably we will include some packages. So we are as well working for the namespaces for packaging functions, packaging streams into packages. You will be able to import appropriate package, and there will be some functions that are familiar for machine learning researchers. But it is not immediately. It's all things are gradual, because we are now working on the state machine, on the runtime environment, on the semantics, on the new ParsiQ, as well as the ability to decouple runtime environment from the portal as well. Here is a huge work on this, but eventually, yes, and we are going to do.
Thank you, Anatoly. I think this concludes our AMA for today. I know we missed a few, but feel free to send any follow-up questions on Telegram or Twitter. We'll try to collect them and answer them in text format later on. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Anatoly, for taking the time to answer the community questions, and until next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.